Something I find concerning is the many ways that the butterfly revolution perfectly aligns with Project 2025. Definitionally, both of these movements are fascistic. And that's why some people say that fascism is always hyphenated. So it's always going to be tech fascism and Christian fascism.
What they mean by that is political arrangements are contingencies. They are ceasefires between various political factions. The democratic order that we have in America, it was a political compromise between various factions in American society. When those political compromises failed, like when the power of industrial capitalism came up against the power of slave aristocracies of the Deep South, one of them had to give, and that was the Civil War. What ended up happening is what happens in wars, they were utterly defeated, right? And they shifted their strategies to a guerrilla type of strategy. And that was very, very successful, much more successful than fighting on the battlefield had. But they had lost substantial progress for their position, right? And so we had a new kind of political order compromise, ceasefire. And what these billionaires are saying is the political forces that compelled capitalists to grant concessions like the New Deal are no longer strong enough to resist us. That we have the technology, we have the wealth, we have the power to redeclare war on the factions that drove us to the bargaining table 100 years ago. The left of 2025 is a pale shadow, a wisp of smoke compared to a roiling bonfire of 100 years ago. And I think a lot of people are clinging to the old treaties, the old ways of being. Because you don't even understand that fights happened. You don't get that everything we have, people fought and bled for. And you've never been taught to fight for anything. In fact, most of you have been taught that fighting for something is a failure in and of itself. That fighting is wrong in some sort of generic sense. And that sacrificing yourself for a cause is quaint.